Okay, so I'll be starting with storytelling. So before getting into it, so I would like you to explain the real meaning. So what do you think this is all about?
To explain
Hmm?
particular scenario in
Mhm.
your own words so that it can be understood by the listeners.
So can we say sharing an experience? Number one, as you said, I'm taking it from your answer. Now
Yeah.
moving ahead, so or we can say situation like a story. Why this is done? To make people understand. So listeners. So why we're talking about storytelling? So there is one speaker and the other person is listener. There can be a crowd. There can be one person. So to help listeners understand better. So what do? You explain things in detail. That is what happened. Number one, how you felt, what you did, and what you learned from it. Why you learn? So there should be some consequences or learning aftermath, right? So that is the whole thing. So now why we are working in this? So you must have like experienced a lot of interviews in your past years when you were applying for the job. So they do ask questions related to your experience. For example, how did you take care of this project or how you did certain things? So all those, right? So now when you're talking about it, so how to use storytelling is also very important. You have to understand one thing when you start explaining things and expressing yourself, people remember stories. We have already discussed this, right? If
Yeah.
you tell me, okay, everyone should work hard. So I also know everyone should work hard. You also know everyone should work hard. But when there are people, okay, speakers who are standing on stage and they say, you should work hard. So now that has an impact, right? So that is what I am trying to tell you. So today we'll be working on this. It helps you build connection with your listeners or audience. So even if the interviewer is there, he or she is also your audience, correct? Now, what do? You give real life examples. Let's say, let me give you a situation. Let's say you want to teach new employees why teamwork matters. So you have to come up with a situation. You have to give an example. So you can say first you need to talk about the importance of teamwork. Teamwork is important because it improves productivity. People coming together, working on the same thing. It takes less time and you're more productive, right? Now, moving ahead, what real examples you can give? You can say, so the first thing is I am going to explain. After that, you're going to give me your explanation, right? So when I first joined my old company, I tried to finish a big project alone. Okay. So this made me stressed. I was missing on the deadlines and the results were not great. Then one of my managers asked me to work with two teammates and take their help. So what we did, I thought of doing the same thing, but it never clicked me at that point of time. So when these people came in, I divided the work between two teammates and myself. Now we divided the work. It helped each other and not only to finish the work because one person was assigned with a particular job, so he did it wholeheartedly, and the result was outstanding. So this made us complete our work on time. We also won an award on the same. So that's when I learned that teamwork is not just helpful, it's powerful.
Hmm.
So this is my real example. Now you might have seen so many memes and so many reels on teamwork.
Mhm.
Okay, so when coming together, and you have seen ants in your real life. So one ant, it's not so productive, but when all ants try to pick up a sugar piece, so it becomes very helpful. So they do the activity in a very nice way, and they complete the whole project as well. For them, it's a project, right? The whole action. So this is how we are going to do. Now, the first thing we need to learn here is the technique. Let me tell you the technique. One by one, we'll pick up a technique. I'll speak, you'll speak. So it is going to be like that. Okay. Do you have any experience or antidote like from your past experience
Relevant to what?
relevant to this team building?
Okay, so I can recall a particular situations when there was a conflict between some new joiners as well as the old developers who were already present in the project. So I've been checking this trend by the by the new developers and the old developers that they will form their own group and they will try to work upon in that kind of a group, like oldies are one side and new developers at one side. But that was not giving us the productive outputs or outcome. Why? Because when we are doing something, specifically when we are doing something new, we need both fresh eyes as well as the experienced inputs. So to overcome this, what I decided to reduce the space with some team building activities. That includes not only to get the feedback, or maybe face off each other, I would say, and to to arrange a particular outing with the team so that we can have some we can play some team building games specifically focused on team building. Okay, that was intentionally given by me that you have to group up with this person and then dump charts and something like that, which made sure that these people are collaborating directly and indirectly, and they are interacting. After this particular activities, I found now they know each other better, and they many person have many commonalities also. They are they are coming from same college, and they are now the bonding between these two particular set of people are more, and they were able to collaborate more in a in a very healthy manner, and that actually reflected in their work also. The outcome becomes more and more finer in terms of quality as well as timelines. So that is one of my experience from my past project
Okay.
for team
So,
building.
so you introduced the word team activity, which really helped your team to work efficiently. Can we say this? Okay. So now when you
Team building
begin your,
activity. Hmm.
correct. So when you begin your storytelling, okay, the main objective here is to first explain what it is going to be about.
Okay.
Now, why? Because it hooked the audience to your story. So your story is something very important. But again, if it is going not to be like, if it is not very interesting, how I'm going to stay attached to it? Okay. So you could have started with, so team activity is the real thing which I have realized.
Hmm.
Okay. I was into a team, I was into a company where people were not really working together. They found it difficult to communicate. So to improve the situation, I thought of doing, why not to come up with some activity where they can come together, play, interact, and talk, not formally but informally.
Yeah.
So again, solid words. You need to come back to it. Okay. So you have to use the terms formally, informally, official words so that you can put impressions. It's all about using good vocabulary when you're talking about it. Okay. So we'll get into it. Now, shall we move ahead?
Sure.
That was a good one. Good story. Okay. Now simple storytelling techniques. Now, the first thing you have to realize here is that you have to sell your story. Before, okay, that's what I was I was trying to tell you. You need to bring that hook. So before you start telling the actual story, it is important for you to hook your listener to your story so that they're interested to listen to it. So what you could have done, last year, I had an experience that completely changed my outlook on life. Now, the people will be interested, okay, what actually happened? Okay, that changed your life, that changed you as a person. So they'll hook to it and they'll continue listening to you. Okay, so the first thing is a heavy sentence. Powerful sentence is very important. Okay, so that is hook. Now, characters thought. Now, what is this? This is again an important point. Now, you have to share what characters actually thought or they were thinking that point of time when this incident was happening. So their point of view. So POV. So you have to talk about it. So you can say, let me give you an example on this. So I thought, oh my God, how these things keep happening to me. Okay. And in few days, I have to join my office back and meet my new manager. Maybe you're hurt or you got into something bad or you're suffering from flu. So that is the reason. Whenever there is something important, this thing happens. Okay. Now, this is your character's thought. Now, you are there in the character. So that's the reason your thoughts were explained here. Got it? Am I clear?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Now, the next thing here is the exact dialogue. Okay. So what do you mean by exact dialogue?
Maybe talking as a first person,
Mhm.
something like that.
So that is the exact words or the exact sentences that the character was speaking at that point of time. So that is again important. Okay. Now you could have said that my sister called. My sister called and said something very important. Okay. She said that Namita, this is the moment you were waiting for. This is what you always wanted. Now go for it. Embrace the moment. Okay. So it's a direct speech. So somebody called me up and gave me this thing. So again, the exact dialogue. So when you're going to quote from what happened actually, instead of just talking about yourself and how you felt, okay, this is going to again give a good impression. Okay. We'll be discussing the topic, but before that,
Give me some example for exact dialogue, like one more example maybe.
for example, let me give you a situation, okay? Say, for example, I gave my exam. I was in my CS, final, okay? So my mother told me, okay, this is what you have done all the hard work for. Now, before exam, feeling nervous, it's quite normal. Don't worry about it. Just go for this. You're going to do well. And that's what happened. I really did well. Okay. So what your mother said, what your sister said, and what happened to you, you were nervous. And after that, how you overcome that. So the powerful statement that gave you the motivation. So you can talk about it. Now,
Hmm.
I'll give you an example. You were facing some difficulties while working with your manager, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So your wife might have told you something. So how you're going
Yeah.
to explain that situation? So come, let's get into that situation that something happened. I'm not going to get into it. I just want the character's thought and the exact dialogue. She said,
Okay.
I'll give
So
you a
I
starting sentence. I'll give you a sentence. I was really going through a roller coaster ride. Okay. My manager and we were not going well. And I was very upset. And there was a plan of me leaving the country. And I was thinking like to drop my resignation and move on in my life. However, my wife said,
However, my wife said that don't run away from the situation. Let's face it. I am with you. We'll face it together, whatever might be the consequences. I am there for you, and I know you are always there for us. You are doing this for us. but don't overload yourself. In worst case, if something can happen, is that you have to leave the job and we have to survive for a while. But I have full faith in you that you will find a new job soon.
Okay. Now here, the first part was absolutely fine. Okay, you're still in that job,
Mm.
right? You're
Yeah,
still
yeah.
in that job. Now, the focus was like she said that don't worry, you are already doing wonderful. It's just a time; it will pass by. I am there with you. This I am there with you really motivated me, and I thought, why not? Why not give it another try? Let's wait for a week or 2 weeks. If something happens, then I'll take another decision. But for right now, let's face the situation. So that motivated me a lot to face the situation. The second part gave a conflicting view. Yatindra.
Okay.
You did not leave the job because that's a statement was something that she motivated you to leave the job and move on because health is everything. You're already overloaded.
Okay. I got your point. I got your point.
Okay. So shall we move on?
Sure.
Okay. Now what you need here is when you're planning, I'll give you some time before asking questions. Okay. So what you have to do here is, but before that, let's discuss few more techniques. Okay. So you have to think of if you can make notes or you want me to share the screen or share the screenshot with you.
That would be fine.
Okay.
If you
In
can
the
share
same
me the
room.
screenshot. Yeah.
Okay. Now, this is a method which really works. The STAR method. It's great for interviews. This is not the only interview you have given. This is not the only interview. You have to face interviews in your upcoming future as well, isn't it? So this is a part
Mm.
of life. So why not to talk about it? There might be a situation where the interviewer must have told you, talk about the project you have taken and you have done something in it and how you overcome. So these kind of situations do come on, questions do come or not.
Yes, definitely. See, I know about this technique also. The only point is to implement. When I'm in flow, like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm in flow to share any of the story, I would say, or experience. Whenever the question is asked, okay, just tell us about this and whatnot, So I don't know.
Okay.
I tend to go in a flow, and I forgot. Forget this the whole flow of this technique. Like you have to start with S, then T, then A, and then R. Many times the results come before and all. So that happens. I don't know. Maybe I get myself emotionally attached to that particular question, and many times I tend to go in that flow because I tend to remember things or what situations happened at that time and how and all whatnot, and try
Okay.
to exaggerate some part which is not required at all.
Okay. So now you have to divide your answers. Okay. So you have to start with the background. So if you're going to talk about a project, you have to give some background. What kind of project was that? Who gave you that project? Okay. Then only you can talk about the project. Okay. So say, for example, if situation is there and like if I have to talk about myself, I'm going to talk about myself and then you're going to talk about yourself. Okay. So we'll do this. So I had been working in the finance sector for over 10 years, primarily in corporate financial planning. And I was into completely risk analysis of the company structure and everything. I was quite successful in my role, but I realized over time that I truly enjoyed working as a trainer and a teacher. Instead of doing the work, I really loved how people listened to me and I was explaining them different concepts in simple terms. Okay.
Mhm,
If the question
mhm.
was like, why did you change or transit from financial sector to the teaching and coaching sector?
Okay.
So I set this situation that I had been working, it was more than 10 years. I was enjoying my work, but I realized that coaching is something which I enjoy more than performing the job myself. So that really motivated me. And from there, uh, I thought of going ahead and try something different. Now,
Mm.
coming to task. So as I was more into back-end job, I wanted to keep my focus more people oriented, where I can interact with people, talk to people. As that was something I really enjoyed doing it. So specifically teaching and training is something where I can sit with a person, understand their thought process and can guide them the way they want. So I had to prove that I could teach effectively. And for that reason, I have also taken some courses that can boost my confidence in the same field. So later, I was already masters in finance, but I have taken up TESOL and TEFL classes because that really guided me how to go ahead with different kinds of students of different age groups. So this is what did I actually do? I was into financial and then what I did and how I wanted to move on. Action also I have spoken, what action I have taken, right? What was the result? Now the result should be the final thing. So within a year, I was offered a full-time role as a corporate trainer. I was working with a very famous company, which was not only renowned in India, but around the world. Okay. Since then, I have designed more than 20 training modules and have trained 35,000 students and professionals. So this is the end result from where I started and where I am. So this is how you need to divide your answer when a question is given to you.
Mm.
Okay. Any doubts?
No, 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 no.
Okay. Now the next thing here is, so you were also in different background, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
Okay. You were working as a, like you started your journey as a,
I started my journey as an developer, and
okay.
then that included not only development part but the testing part also. We had a
Mm-hmm.
big team, and
Mm-hmm.
we have to go through each and every process. And because I started automotive domain and it needs a
Okay,
rigorous testing.
we'll start with the STAR
Mhm.
method. I'll give you
Okay.
1 or 2 minutes. Okay, what you can
Mhm.
do, you can jot down the points.
mm, that
Okay.
would be better. Yeah.
And two, another thing, I need two things. One, you have to jot down the points for each and every point. Number two, you have
Mm,
to use connectors.
mm,
Moreover,
mm, mm,
finally,
mm.
okay, however, instead of but. So you have to use these terms. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Just a minute.
Shall we?
Yeah, I guess we can start.
Yeah.
Okay. So to start with the situation, or I would say mm, about my career, how I am, where I am. Okay. So I started my journey with TCS. Okay, I was actually placed directly from my from my college in campus. So I directly had no other option to join this company, and this was my first company after training. So I truly believe in blessing in disguise because I truly believe in God. And first blessing what happened in disguise for me was to get a project where I didn't had any clue about that technology. I got to learn this technology, new team, as well as the new structure where I had to go through each and every phase of project, which really helped me to understand the end-to-end, how project or how actually a project work, not only just a small module of development, but also the end-to-end thing. Then I really understand how to become a team player. The second blessing in disguise, I would say, because unfortunately, I have to leave that, and I was given a leading role, which I had no other option. As in, I have to take it because I have to stay with my family in my near to my hometown. So there, I started as a leading and all, and till this situation, I would say I was just accepting what is being served at my plate. Uh, After a few years, I understood that this would not go. As in, although I was doing really well on my roles and how I was leading, I was learning few things, interacting new people, understanding things and all. But I understood that there was a real change which is required, or else things will not change for me, specifically with my, my package as well as my understanding. And I will be thrown to some roles which I will not be having any options to select from my end. So for that, I started learning and interacting with new people, understanding how they have changed their own pathway, and through that, I understood they have done some certification and they have done already, some networking really helped them to understand and explore new things and how they have changed their mindset. So for that, I made a list and of certifications as well as some trainings which I have to do, and one by one I started doing it. That includes Scrum Master certification, ITIL, PMP. These certification really helped me to switch to the new job with almost 150% hike, and that was a really life changing moment for us because from where I was coming, I was very much into a satisfied zone. I was thinking what I'm earning is what I deserve, but then I realized that I deserve more. And then again, this I continued this journey and learned more about it. I got certified in other certification, ITIL, and understood new techniques and tools, which helped me to crack this current job, and which really is helping me out when it comes to my career and professional journey. So here I am.
Okay. So anything else which you would like to add or something?
However, this journey will look like a roller coaster, but
Mm-hmm.
I believe you know there is always a guiding path or light which was showing me the correct to take how to take the correct path at the correct time. So moreover, I believe there is someone who is helping me out in this whole path, and I think I am blessed on that part. Yes,
Okay.
that's mm,
Okay. Good job in the body part. Okay. The way you concluded is also good. The bit you have to work on the situation.
mm,
Okay, you would have said that when I was in my school or college, I always dreamt of becoming a developer because I believe that that is a profession where people really do a wonderful job and earn lots and lots of money. So that was in my mind, doing well in my life and earning a lot to take care of the necessities of my family. Okay. However,
mm,
after joining a job, I realized that this is something I am not enjoying. This is not my cup of tea. Okay. So I took a leap for faith. And then I understood the importance of keeping myself updated. So I thought of why not to try a different profession, which came to me from itself and from nowhere when I was not planning to do something with my life. And I was quite like satisfied with my ongoing things. But that really changed my mindset. So you see this intonation part, right? Fluency and intonation is something which you have to work upon. Taking now the pitch, okay, when you're talking about something very exciting, your pitch should be high. When you're talking about something sad, your pitch should be low. So these are few things which you have to work upon. Amazing vocabulary used. Okay, good job done on that. You said served on my plate, blessing in disguise, okay, interactive, satisfied, a list, deserved more, and a lot of things you have used. And that's amazing. Good job done there. And that's the reason your body and conclusion was amazing. But few things changed here and there in the beginning, okay, because your beginning is always, I have seen, it's little bit not on a track. So you have to work on the same, right? Anything you would like to ask? Connectors you
yeah.
did not use.
Yes, I remember it not using, and then that's why in conclusion I try to add whatever connectors I can. But yes, I totally agree with you when it comes to to start a particular storytelling. Uh, even I believe I know I tend to resist, or I don't know, more feared in a way, or I'm not prepared in some places. But once I'm in flow, I'm in flow, and I understand. Okay, this is what, this is not, and
Okay.
I can go there.
See, I'll give you a small suggestion here.
Mm,
Whenever you're talking about a situation, okay, or anything, you understand that we are discussing our past.
mm,
Okay, this is something very clear. So you can say that in the year 2010, when I just completed my graduation, I got into a job as a developer. That is what I always wanted to be. You're getting this right? Giving a time
mm,
frame, giving your thought, what was going in your mind. So your character thought, that was what I always wanted to do. However, I was never aware of that this whole situation is going to change, and in few months, my life is going to turn around. Okay. So this is, you have to frame turn around. Okay. I was quite uncomfortable in my place. These are something which you have to keep it handy in the beginning. Talk about the time frame. Okay. In which year, what you were doing that time, and how you came to this. So once you get that thing, and I believe that your body part is quite good. Okay. So you know how to go with the flow.
mm,
Okay. So there is always a person who begins the talk. So you're not the beginner. People
mhm.
remember, okay, a person who starts and who ends mostly. So again, it is very important to become a beginner. If you start a conversation, but again, you have to be fully prepared. You cannot just start abruptly. If you
Mm,
start a conversation, you'll be in the good eyes. People will recognize you, managers will consider your thoughts. That he's the person who takes effort.
mm.
Okay. So this is something you need to give it a try. Okay. Coming to the next thing, I had a lot of things, but again, we'll talk about it next day. But again, topic ideas for professional storytelling. So today, you've seen that how I discussed my career transition, moving from one role or field to another. Okay. Now you can talk about a challenging project and how you successfully completed it. Okay. So these are the topics which we're going to cover. And what you can do is right now you're going to speak about one of them. The choice is yours. But again, I would like you to take this topic. You need to write it down. Okay. And then you have to record yourself. That is going to be your homework.
Only
This is
one
a
topic?
topic, only one topic, because this is a topic you will get in all the interviews, my dear, isn't it? So let's prepare for it. Why not? Okay. If
Sure.
you're going to send me the recording, it is going to be there with you. So that is again going to be a wonderful thing.
Mm,
So this is very important. There are a few topics. Okay. For example, this one, how you handle a difficult client, because you're into HR. So I don't think so that you really interact with the client, but yes, stakeholders, people who are coming in. There are so many difficult people and they don't listen to you. They don't understand that your hands are also like, you cannot
right.
give everything. So you are also answerable to the team. Okay. A mistake. So this is something which you not get, but we will talk about it. A mistake you made and what you learned. You can talk about your professional mistake. Okay. That you waited. You did not confront your manager before. So that can be a mistake. You would have done this before, then you wouldn't have suffered so much. Or why you confronted. You really think about it, that you would have just let it go.
Mm,
Okay. So it's completely in your right. Okay. Your biggest professional breakthrough. Nobody believes that they have got the biggest professional breakthrough, isn't it?
mhm.
Do you think that you have got one?
If I compare from my first job, yes.
Mhm.
The first breakthrough was my first transition, I would say.
Okay.
That really changed my life, actually. That made me believe that I deserve more, and that should be a thought process of every human being who is professional. I believe that they should always think that they deserve more, and they have to work hard also, definitely.
Okay. Okay. Now you have to say the same thing, keeping a smile on your face. Let's see the difference. Okay. You were quite serious while you were explaining your breakthrough. Now let's take this as something that happened and you were so happy. Okay.
I'm so happy that it happened to me. This was my first transition, I would say, from my over a decade same company experience job to a new job, which is world leading with a world leading company called Accenture, and with a very handsome, I would say, salary that showed me that I deserve more. And on top of it, I got promoted in less than 7 months in the new job because of my, my work and all. They recognized it. So I was in a place where I was getting recognized, and I thought
Mhm.
this is the place, where I can give more and get more, even more. So I deserve more in that way. So yes, it was a great experience, and
Okay.
I would say a breakthrough in my professional journey.
Okay. Great. So we will be talking about it now. This was different. Okay, from the previous one. So smile brings out the difference, but you were conscious about smiling. Okay, so you have to smile often
Yeah, well,
when
yeah.
you're answering the questions. Okay,
I don't
smile.
know
Okay,
why,
don't
but
laugh.
I know, I know. But I don't know. Many a times, even I'm getting some feedback that I'm, for some things I'm too reactive or too emotional in a way where I should not be, because in a conversation if something happens and I don't like that. okay, then definitely my expressions and my things changes. Even when I talk, many times I get emotional and all. So that is one feedback I'm getting from with my current situation with my HR and manager and his manager and whatnot.
See, these HRs and professionals, you have to say, I'm a human being. If I don't like anything, it will come to my face. I cannot be a poker face person.
Yeah, every
Okay?
time that too. I can't be like you,
So
definitely.
you have to say, I take this as a compliment. I know how to react in different situations.
But you know how the corporate world goes. They will take out something and they'll make sure that that's a negative point, not a positive one.
That's completely true. Okay, so you
Yeah,
have to say, oh, really? I will really take this into consideration and work on myself. You have to say this. That's it.
that's it. That's it. That's how I'm taking now all the bullets. I'll just try to divert it or just take it and swallow it. That's what.
That's a good one. Okay, so we'll stop here, and I hope the session was impactful, and we will work
Yeah.
on this. We will be working on your situations so that you can start your sentences well.
Sure.
Okay,
That,
so your current homework is this one.
mhm.
Okay, and next day we'll be talking about, we'll be giving you different situation, and we'll be working on how to start those cases if that comes in your life or comes to you.
I really
Okay.
need this video what we discussed just after I explained my career path, and then you added some point how you can use the attonation, use how you could have framed it in a better way. So that part will really help me out because that was really nice what I have heard from you, and that can be used or copy pasted by myself in many other ways. So if possible, please share that. Okay.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
hope you are
I'll do that.
recording already.
Yes, I
Okay.
have recorded the same, and I'll do
You
the
can
I'll just share the recording. You do one thing. You watch this tomorrow, and you can write down the sentences. If you like something, just write it down. Keep it
Thank you.
handy. Okay, because these are
Thank
real life situations which we discuss, and you get to use them.